Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hello. Welcome, everybody, to the Detroit Cast, powered by DealsInTheD.com with Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hi, Jay.
Hi, Mike.
How are you, my friend?
I'm well to quite well. I can't ask for more than that, Mike.
Very good, very good. Yeah, my thighs are burning, but other than that, I'm doing fairly well.
A little curling injury?
Yeah, a little bit. I knew it was going to happen, too. Do you have thigh burn today?
I do not. I got to be honest with you.
Of course you don't.
Isis doesn't either.
Isis, you don't have thigh burn?
No, but I was sore the next day. I was a little sore the next day for sure.
He was sore from brooming.
He was a vigorous broomer.
He was a vigorous broomer, and he'd hop. When he broomed, he'd hop.
He wasn't very good at staying in the pocket though in his broom zone, but he was a vigorous broomer. You know, I noticed when Marisa and Douglas, or Marisa and that other dude broomed, they were in sync, out of each other's way.
Like human beings.
Yeah, or pro-period curlers.
Isis was a spaz on the curling ice.
Yeah, but he was fun, man.
Listen. Did you go into this thinking Isis would be as much of an assassin on the curling ice as he was?
I did. I gotta say, I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
That he was be as good. I did not think that I would be as bad at curling as I was. I really struggled to get the, I thought first off that that initial move when you launch and you're just sliding. And
it's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
I'm gonna let this stone go, and then I didn't think I was gonna be any good at that. I thought this is a disaster, and I'm gonna fall over. I'm not going to be able to do this. Hold my balance. My core is weak, so I didn't think I'd be able to hold it. And I was surprised that I was, even right out of the gate with first time. But it was dude, trying to get the
right distance. Yeah,
it's just trying to do I
you
push
have no
this thing
context.
along?
You have no context to it.
None.
So you're just I'll try this. It takes you a couple rounds to kind of get the feel.
Yeah,
but I think we all kind of got it after a couple of ends.
Yeah, yeah, we did. But I still was I should be getting this more than I am. It was bothering me. It was bothering me because I was
it's bothering me too because you weren't scoring points and we were on the same team.
Yeah,
it's TDC versus Merck, Douglas, and Marisa.
Fucking Douglas! Don't even get me started. I don't want to hear his name. I don't want to hear his name. I don't want to hear his name.
I know it was tough, dude. It was tough to see him cheat like that.
But it sucked because it's okay, I'm not a moron and I'm not totally unathletic. It's usually you can get the feel of something. It's all right, I get it. I get what I'm supposed to do. And usually I'll have that one moment where it's right when the team needs you most, you land that bullseye. It's hell yeah.
That didn't come.
It didn't come.
Yeah, the whole day.
Gross. Never. And it was I made it past the line. That's pretty good, I guess.
The hog line?
Yeah. Well, that one stayed kind of in bounds, I guess. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say Isis and I kind of carried the team.
Well, yeah, you had some bright spots and some, high highs and low lows. I mean, you really did. You had that one, don't forget, where you knocked two of our rocks, I believe, out of the way, gave a victory to someone else. I'd rag on you for that, but I did the same thing, and so I really don't, the leg that I could stand on while it's bruised and sore, I'm not going to stand on it today because I did the same thing, and I didn't offer much help otherwise.
It's a fun game.
It is.
Detroit Curling Club was nice enough to have us out.
Dude, honestly, driving over there, I was I don't want to I just want to go home. I don't want to do anything. I was coming from
That's why you showed up a half
meeting.
hour late.
Well, I was coming from the other side of the world. I had the rapist meeting. And so I was coming from, and I was I don't want to do this. Oh, it's going to be cold. Dude, I had so much fun. It's
pretty cool.
It was fucking awesome.
It's way better than bowling. And if anybody's been to Palazzo de Bacci, it's kind of like that, but better.
Is that the one out
That's the one in Lake Orion. Correct. Yeah. It's hard like that, difficult, everybody's played backyard bocce and, you roll the ball out in the grass and all that. That place is crazy because you're rolling it basically on a Walmart floor.
Yeah.
And you're trying to pin this thing right next to the ball. Similar to curling in that you're, like you say, you have no context to how hard you're supposed to throw this stone.
Yeah.
But once you do start to get the muscle memory, it's still just so nuanced and just turning the wrist a little bit at the end.
Just the littlest bit, man.
See, I got there after the instruction part, where they taught you guys to turn it, so I never did. It was when I bowl, I just bowl straight on.
You don't shake hands with the pin?
I don't shake hands with the pin. And so, no, dude, I was just let my rock go straight as an arrow, and it did what it did.
And the power game did not come out. It would have been. It wouldn't have worked at all.
I was begging you to go to the power game at one point early on.
Well, dude, we had freaking skin in this game, and we wanted to win this shit.
It's just not a power game, though. I
know, but there were 2 stones in the pocket, and it was like I'm screaming across the ice, Jay, power game. I wanted you to come hard, like just wing this thing.
You know what I opted to do instead? I opted to curl it around those barrier stones and just score points.
Yeah, but I wanted you to come hard and see if you could crack a rock.
45 pounds of granite,
just
hurling down the
bang,
ice.
Just smash it.
Well, I mentioned before I was dismayed that Douglas had to resort to what he did. Should we explain to the listeners exactly what kind of realtor we have on staff here?
Well, it's good news for those looking to buy a house or sell a house with Douglas. I'll say that because if he's on your team,
he's cutthroat.
He's cutthroat, and he's not afraid to cut lots of corners when he's on your team. You just don't want to not be on his team, right? So he's a good one to have in your pocket. But fuck him.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear his name again.
He did the equivalent of, I don't know, in golf, just kind of kicking the ball.
Your ball a little bit.
Kicking the ball a little bit.
Yeah. Now, here's the only thing I'll say in his defense. There were 1 or 2 at least instances when time was winding down and we had a little bit of a lead where we
tried to kill the clock. Admit it. We've got 15 minutes left, and we went Guatemalan soccer player on them.
Look, you pulled. It was clear. You looked at least for a while like you pulled a hammy.
Yep,
and
I was
you
down.
were rolling around in agony, calling for a stretcher.
You looked like you twisted an ankle.
I did. I rolled an ankle as I was just trying to come back. I wanted to hurry up, give those guys a chance to tie things up, and I was hurling down the ice, and I definitely rolled an ankle and was rolling around on the ice.
We were burning clock like crazy. And then the handlers, was it Michelle and Roger with us, right? They were happy to have us out, and they were kind of like facilitating our game for us. And they're like, don't worry about it. Go overtime. Let's finish this game. Like, son of a bitch, Michelle.
We were holding a
we're
1
killing
point
time.
Lead. Yeah, you couldn't tell what we were doing out there calling for stretchers. Really? With 3 minutes to go in the game? Guys, I wish we could, but we're just flat out of time. We got a hard out at 3, so I don't know what to tell you.
No, they're like, don't worry about it. Go overtime. Play.
You guys are good. Finish
Play
this
till
thing
there's
out.
a winner. So, here's the thing, man. If anybody looks at this, they're going to look at this picture and go, of course that red stone is out of that blue. There's no way. Well, when you're looking over it, because it's orb-shaped, it is very, very close to being in that blue, which would have given us a point.
Which one of us threw that stone?
I did.
In question. You did. Well, I was down at the opposite end then, so I would have been right there where the stone landed. And I remember looking over it at first glance going, oh, okay, that's out. This was a pivotal point. This was the series. Yeah. This was the match right here.
Because I scored 3 points in that end. It would have been a 4th point.
Your
that would have
team
ended.
Did, but
well, I personally did.
Right.
And that would have ended the game. What are you looking at me like that for? E, are you crazy? You want to rewind the whole game?
There was a little help. I mean, I was encouraging. I was screaming like, you got this, Jay.
I personally scored 3 points on that.
It's a team effort. I was screaming.
Yeah, but I got another stone in.
I know, but it's a team effort. He was sweeping, and I was screaming, go, Jay, you got this.
It would have been a 4th point in that end.
That we as a team got.
But not for Douglas.
Yeah. And so this thing is hanging on the edge, and I'm looking over this thing, and I'm like, holy shit, there's a chance that stone might be touching that blue line. I'm looking directly down at it. And I'm not, you know me, I'm not a cheater. And so I'm looking, I'm like, we need a ruling. We need, this is under protest at this point if we're not just going to automatically get this point. Clearly we are.
Detroit Curling Club, being the fine establishment it is, they actually have a tool for that.
Yes.
Got a little peg in the middle of the button, righty?
Yeah.
And the thing sits in the peg, and it goes around the radius of this thing, and if it touches a stone, it's a point.
What's that tool you used in class?
Protractor.
Protractor. Yeah, it's like a protractor. And it was like, if it touches it. And so we're all huddled in the middle, just like, dude, we need this point. If this is it, we win. It's over, game over. And we all turn around, and it's like, what is Douglas doing over there by our rock? He's standing over there, and he's got some instrument in his hand.
He's got his broom.
He's got his broom handle, and it's down, and it's like touching like the ice and maybe our rock.
And he's acting like he's measuring it. Like, well, if my broom handle's straight and this is in the blue, then this is outside the blue. And while he's doing it, if that son of a bitch just doesn't push it a little bit out.
All he's got is just a pube. He's got to move that thing a pube. One way or the other. It's over. And so it's like, hey, get away from that rock, you son of a bitch. And he's like, what? I do nothing. Look. And so we are hot. At this point, we're hot. And I go over there, and I'm like, You move the fucking rock, Douglas. You fucking cheater.
So, of course, Roger, our facilitator, puts the protractor in, and it's,
it's just short.
It's a quarter of a hair.
Yeah, which is all Douglas needed to just butt that thing over, which then, since you didn't score that 4th point, instead just 3, what
sends us into an extra end.
Yes.
Which we then bastardized by playing short stones.
Yeah, I mean, it was just unfair and demoralizing. It was crushing. It was like being at a WWF wrestling match, and the ref, is like got his back turned, and someone throws something in his eyes, and it's like it was so obvious that the cheat went on that it was just I couldn't look him in the face.
Well, just know that it's under protest, Douglas. It's been filed with the governing authority, the International Curling Competition Committee, whatever that is.
Yeah.
We filed it, and so the 6-5 win that you sponsors got doesn't exactly count yet. Okay?
Right. So I don't know what they're. Hopefully, there's camera footage they can go to. If anybody was there filming that day, caught some of that funny business going on. But I will say, it should say a lot about Douglas's character as a piece of shit. But it also says that if he's on your team, he is willing. There is no length he will not go to win at all costs. And so if you're thinking about selling a house and it's like, is this guy really on my team, or is he playing for the fucking new buyer?
Yeah,
it's like,
he's on your team.
No. He will fucking murder the new buyer over $1 just to win that fight. And the same goes for if he's going to sell your house or buy you a new one. He's cutthroat as shit with no shame and no guilt. It bit us in the ass this time. We're a trusting bunch here. Thought it was a house game. Lots of fun.
Is this a case of like pretty much everything else we do? We did just enough not to win.
Yeah. It does kind of speak about our whole lives, doesn't it?
Of late, maybe.
Jesus, man.
Jesus.
I don't know. What I would really get out of it more than
he's
anything.
winning more than he's ever won in his life. Like, even though we're losing.
What are you talking about?
What I was going to say is...
I'm really good at throwing rocks on ice.
All I got
That's
out of
my
it,
strong thing.
Yeah, dude.
He is good at this.
He's pretty good at it.
Every person I talked to this weekend, I brought it up to anybody and anybody I could. I was like, dude, I went curling on Friday and it was awesome. Like, I'm going to be in a league next year.
Dude, I will be there right there with you as long as the night lines up with my schedule. I would love to be in a league.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Plus beer. If you're in the leagues, they have the bar open, and so you get beer thrown in the mix. Dude, game-changing. Absolutely
Detroit Curling Club. Check it out, and it is affordable. It's not super affordable to just go one day and play, but if you're in a league, it really is affordable.
What was it, like $100 for the season?
It's like 135 for the season.
140 if you're the lowest level, and then there's a few out that gets you
in one league.
Right, that gets you 1 week, 1 day a week. You could technically, I guess, go on open day, but essentially you would do a league.
And then it was like $450
for unlimited leagues.
Yeah, for the year.
Yeah,
it's insane.
So how many is it? 4 persons on a team?
Yes.
Ideally?
Generally, yeah. But we did 3v3. That's why we took out the 2 stones.
Yeah. So who would our 4th be then, ideally?
Oh, man.
I mean, if you guys will accept me on the team. I know I struggled out of the gate this weekend, but...
Maybe Douglas.
I know. I was thinking about that, too.
Good.
He's an assassin, and he's just fucking ice in his veins. I mean, he was an assassin.
He's sort of like
ice.
Vladdy, you love him if he's on your team.
Of course. Yeah, we'll have to give him a good look, but...
Speaking of Douglas... Gonna find our best friend Doug, and then we're gonna give
that cheater a great big hug.
Doug, oh, Doug, you dig your nest, Doug. Buying or selling a home can be one of the most stressful times of a person's life. Doug Steinert at Century 21 Campbell wants to make the sale of your old home or the purchase of your dream home as stress-free as possible. Call Douglas at 248-765-1781. Let him and the team at Century 21 Campbell make your home purchasing dreams a reality. Again, call 248-765-1781. Ask for fellow Detroit Cast listener Doug Steinert. You'll love Douglas. Now's the time to call him. It's springtime. It's time to go buy a home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was talking to a buddy of mine. He's like, dude, my neighbor put their house up for sale yesterday, and today there were 10 people through there.
Wow.
And he was talking to the realtor, and she's like, oh, it'll be sold today. She's like, yeah, it's crazy. So this is a perfect time to buy and or sell a home right now. What'd you think of the Big Ten tournament? Are you bummed that Michigan State went down to Michigan?
I am bummed, but dude, it's hard to argue that Michigan's not a much better team. Michigan went into state and beat them earlier in the year handily, and they handled them yesterday too.
Yeah.
My big takeaway is Miles Bridges, dude. I've been watching him all season, and Dan Dockage, that really annoying announcer. Everybody,
I don't watch enough of it to know these guys.
Nobody can stand this guy. He's just like, ugh, just want to barf. His kid played for Michigan, then he transferred to OSU.
Okay.
You might know. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, outspoken dude. Earlier in the season, he tweeted that Miles Bridges has no game, quote unquote. And everybody, oh my God, this guy's going to the NBA. He could have been top 5 last year had he gone in the. But it's true. Like, he's got an NBA body. Yeah, he put up 17 points quietly yesterday, but he's just not a game
Doesn't
changer.
have the fire.
He doesn't go to the hoop. He's just not a game changer, and it's frustrating to watch. And then, I mean, Michigan's just good, man. Their white guy's really good.
Yeah, I know. Wagner. Yeah, did he foul out of that game? No, it was at the game before he fouled out.
The Iowa game.
Yeah, the Iowa game that went to OT. I don't know. It's still going on upstairs while we're recording. They were up on Purdue.
Yeah, that's gonna. E and I were talking about it before the show. This week off, which is weird for the Big Ten tournament right now, it can only hurt Michigan. I mean, they are hot. They are rolling. Yeah. They've been improving all season long. Now they're going to have a week off.
Yeah, it does suck.
If you remember, the last week off a local team had
really
here
like
was the Detroit Tigers in 06, right?
Ah, yes,
famously with their stupid week off before the World Series, and they just went to shit.
Yep.
No, and it's really 2 weeks, honestly. I mean, it's going to be Thursday or Friday of next week.
Yeah. Rest or rust.
Also, the ACC can still have their tournament in the Madison Square Garden. That's what
Why
it's
would
all
they
about.
do that then? Is it just about having the?
It was
the
about being
open?
at MSG and wanting to get the New York publicity
to watch the Big Ten.
Yeah, because Rutgers is over there now, so we want to involve the East Coast.
Yeah, sure. Michigan State making some other news in the last few days. Did you see their? They've been dealing with this whole sexual assault fallout.
I've heard that,
Larry Nassar, for instance, and so they're coming strong. Did you see their the student college sex survey they sent out?
I did, yeah.
To help them, they really want to get more of a get their arms around sexual assault and see what they can do, to curb it, help it. It'll help them as they guide these young minds forward, which is so funny to me too. It's like, if you really step back and think about it, the idea that 19 to 23-year-olds are just learning like how to behave around other human beings. Thank God our universities are there to teach them how to talk and behave in society. It's like they're supposed to just how about you just teach them? How about you just teach them some shit and don't worry about what, I'm known as a Z, not a he. Like, stay out of that game.
Right.
That would be nice, Anyway, so they've got their they want to reduce sexual assault, and I think this survey is going to help a lot. So anyway, our overall goal is to improve campus services and programs around these types of experiences. Participation voluntary. Takes about a half hour. It will not take us a half hour, but so we'll go through some of these, and I think you guys are going to really see how this is going to help long term for the university. Have you ever experienced any of the following sexual acts?
Jesus, get ready.
No.
Someone coming on your face.
E?
No.
I have.
Have you?
Yeah. I came on my own face once. One got errant, just like it had been a while, and one got loose. And it
Something about Mary's situation?
Totally, shot straight up, and it got like a chin. It was like, motherfucker, I came on my own face. It was awful. It was awful, but if I'm being honest and not full of shit, I have to answer that question. Has someone come on your face? Well, yeah. Technically, someone has. Jay, you didn't answer that one.
Is squirting really coming? Get it, Mike?
Yeah, I do. So you didn't want to answer that one?
By the way, where do we stand on squirting? Can we just handle that? Like, are these chicks just pissing?
Right.
Are they just pissing?
No.
Come on.
I don't. That's what I've heard.
You would you
I don't know, but I've had girls talk about it around me before, and that's what they've said.
That's what I've also understood too.
What, that
it's just they're pissing.
Why would a girl just wet your bed? Like, I don't know why they would do that.
They've just let go somehow.
Wouldn't it stinks like you, Ryan? Though I would think that would stink.
I don't know. I guess you're right. Anyway. What is that?
So okay, thanks for settling squirting for me.
I have born witness.
You've borne witness to the squirt?
Yeah.
So a chick pissed in your bed?
It was not, no one whizzed in the bed. Have you come on someone's face? My own, yes. And others.
So, wait, how is this being distributed?
Dude,
what is this?
This is part of the campus sex survey at Michigan State. This is going to help us get our arms around sexual assault. Has anyone come in your face, and have you come in anyone's face? Has someone gagged on your penis? Which is, dude, look, you would never say, oh, dude, I crushed that vagina. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain things,
right.
Like you crush pussy. You don't crush vagina. You don't gag on a penis. You gag on a cock, right?
Yeah.
So I think the wording here is off base. No one gags on it. It's like, fucking gag on it. Choke on my cock.
I didn't even know what they were talking about. I'm glad
you would never.
You want my penis in your mouth?
Choke on, gag on my penis. Ugh. It sounds weak.
Sounds
soft.
clinical. Too clinical.
Does. I'll change it for him. Have you gagged on a panus? E? I'll let you handle that one.
No.
Can you, like, again, define how is this being distributed and why? Like, who gave this out?
Michigan State.
Okay, but what does that mean? Michigan State. Like, who distributed this and for what purpose?
So Michigan State provided Campus Reform is the website that got a hold of this and published it. And so they were looking for comment from Michigan State. Michigan State's comment was, the university does not ever see the data that are collected by researchers. Unfortunately, porn has become the primary source of sexuality education for youth. We are seeing students who feel pressure to engage in these extreme behaviors. Understanding how prevalent these behaviors are helps to create sex ed programs that help young people to refuse these behaviors if they don't want to engage.
This was literally sent to every student at Michigan State University.
They didn't have to, it was not mandatory. You didn't have to take the test. But yeah. Okay, you kiss someone of the have you ever experienced this? You kiss someone of the same sex, E?
Yes.
in front of others for their entertainment.
Oh.
So would that be like at a party, you like grab your buddy and kiss him, I guess? I've never done that. You danced or stripped in front of others. E, I'm assuming you've done that. J, I'm assuming you have not done that.
No.
Have you ever engaged in penetrative sex that involves a sex toy, such as a vibrator or a dildo?
A vibrator?
E? Vibrator or dildo?
No.
Never had that? I don't think so. Another object, such as a bottle or vegetable. E? Bottle or vegetable?
What?
We saw the champagne bottle. Yeah. Hands to penetrate a sex partner. I think we've all done that, right? You used a hand to, assuming they mean any sort of hand work. How often do you think about porn while you're having sex with someone in order to maintain arousal? Really? You're in the middle of having sex with someone and you're thinking about porn? E, do you do that? Have you done that?
No, I actually haven't. The few times I've had sex, I was happy I was having it.
So one of the students says, when I found out about the survey sent out at MSU, I thought it was a joke, Chrissy Clark said. She took the survey. I don't have her results. I would love to know if she's ever gagged on a cock. I really would, but I don't know what her results were. She's like, I first saw it on Barstool MSU, which parodies college students. I thought that it might be an extra credit opportunity for a student research assistant, but it was a serious student sent out to students to understand sexual assault issues on campus. I don't know that that's what people are going to get out of this. She noted that it doesn't shock me that MSU is putting more of its resources into understanding more about sex assault in light of the Larry Nassar scandal. She also said some of the questions, though, had nothing to do with understanding assault. Seemed more like an awkward invasion of privacy. And I got to agree with her on that one. I don't know how answering, have you ever gagged on a cock before,
it's crazy.
Really pushes the story forward. In the past 6 months, how often have you reached orgasm in the following scenarios? E, during masturbation without a toy or porn.
Oh. 0 maybe? I don't know. I don't think. 0, I think.
During masturbation with a toy. With a
0?
toy. You don't ever have a toy like you stick up your butt really quick or anything like that?
If you get to porn, I'm not going to know the answer, by the way.
During masturbation with porn. In the last month? 6 months.
6 months? A few hundred?
So what? Like, if you had to give a
I
daily
did
number.
3 on Saturday. So
Oh my God, 3?
Once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once before I went to bed.
He's a fucking monkey, man.
I know he is.
God, E.
While receiving oral sex with a toy. So how many times in the past 6 months have you reached orgasm while getting blown while using a toy?
0.
All right. While receiving
There'll be a
oral
lot of
sex with
zeros
a
in
toy.
these, by the
Yeah. I don't know, man. This seems like a very self-serving. I honestly, I would
Sounds like
love,
some perv. Sounds like Larry Nassar wrote that.
I think it's more what you usually say, Jay, is like, They've got a certain budget that they need to spend.
Yeah, they have grants.
They've got grants to fulfill, and it's like, well, what are we going to do? Well, I could do this sex survey I saw online. That ought to be pretty fun.
Man.
Crazy.
Hey, everybody, check out the DetroitCast listener business page. It's a page under the Help the Show tab on our website, DetroitCast.com. This page includes businesses that are owned by listeners. Take a look. It'd be great to support supporters of the show. And this week's featured listings are Arnold Roofing, free estimates, licensed and insured. They serve Southeast Michigan. They specialize in roofing and gutters. Their end game, customer satisfaction. Dustin's Mowing and Grounds, also serving Oakland and Livingston counties. They provide lawn, landscaping, snow and ice services for commercial and residential. You will notice a difference with Dustin's. Hey, everybody, check these out. Help out these listener businesses.
Yes.
It's important. It's an important way to support our show.
They're fellow listeners.
Yeah.
I mean, what more do you need to know? I don't know if we should be sick of these stories or keep reporting them because it's getting more and more serious, and I'm getting actually more and more scared about society as we go. Like each day when another company is going to come out with new guidelines about how to address each other, Qantas Airlines, which is a huge Australian airline. That's one of the safest airlines in the world, and they've got a new...
That's not an airline.
That's not a knife. They've got new... they've told their staff, they've issued this thing about how to use gender-appropriate terms and avoid stuff like, you're not going to like this, Jay. You're not supposed to say husband and wife anymore because it may offend the LGBTQI community. And I was like, wait, who is this I guy that's jumped into the... We can't just keep piling letters onto the end of this fucking dumb term here. So they've got the Qantas People and Culture Group executive, Leslie Grant, issued an information booklet detailing how to make employees feel more comfortable at work and more in line with the airline's spirit of inclusion. And so what we've got here, we want to stop using words such as, and these are, I apologize to anyone listening right now who might take offense at these, honey, darling, and love, because they have the capacity to offend. Love? Love? Why would... It also advises staff to use partner instead of husband and wife. And parents. You want to say parents, not mom and dad. So, sorry, all that number one dad bullshit you have upstairs, might want to throw that in the garbage. It could exclude LGBTQI families. Because one of them, they don't have a dad.
Yeah.
Because they've got two moms. Or two dads and no moms.
And you can't just assume you're looking at a man because that could totally be a tranny,
Well, yeah.
No idea.
Right. We obviously mankind is off and fireman.
I like to say people kind.
I like to say people kind, not necessarily mankind.
Language can make groups of people invisible. For example, the use of the term chairman can reinforce the idea that all the workers are men. Words like love, honey, and darling, even when used as terms of endearment, often offend. It is best to avoid these sorts of words. Ms. Grant told the staff she wants the work environment at Qantas to be a place everyone feels comfortable to bring their whole selves to work.
I honestly don't have a problem with eliminating love, honey, and darling. I mean, those are stupid terms to call each other at work.
Yeah,
or to call customers.
But what if it's like, you want a cheeseburger? Fuck yes, I love cheeseburgers.
No, dude, you're talking about it. No, no.
It says to eliminate the word. It doesn't say
in calling customers and coworkers.
Hello,
right?
love.
It's
Hello,
stupid.
love.
I hate that shit. Hi, honey.
Did you know that, dude, they've gotten, for the most part, I think this can go 24 letters, but LGBTQIAPK is what a lot of them go by now. Did you even know what KP and...
Dude, I don't know what any of that shit means.
They added K. You know what K is, E? Care to guess?
I don't know. I think I know. Like, I know pansexual, and I know some of these other ones. But
Yeah, you got asexual, people who just don't want sex, period.
No, pansexual is...
No, I know
something-
it. I know
okay,
pansexual,
okay.
polyamorous or
Okay,
whatever.
I don't know K.
K is kink. We've thrown kink into the mix. People that just like a fucking gag ball harness set in their mouth is now thrown into the LBG community? For real? The fuck are we doing, people? Can we apply
Great
this?
question.
Can we apply this at our workstations here, though?
Yeah, stop calling E honey.
I'm tired of E calling
darling.
us honey and darling. Enough
I'll try
already.
to stop, but I mean, it's going to be... I hope there's like a little leeway, a few weeks here where I can wean myself off of it.
Do your best, E.
I'll try.
You little kink, you K.
Ho ho!
Michael Wolff, we're talking about him. I fucking can't stand this guy, dude. Like,
Fire and Fury author.
Yeah. It's his lip. I think it's his lips. Have you noticed his lips?
Yeah.
There's something weird with his fucking lips, and I just want to punch him.
He almost looks like a Mike Myers dressed up. Like Mike Myers is dressing up to be this guy. You know what I mean?
You mean the SNL character, Mike Myers?
Yeah, Mike Myers from Austin Powers.
Yeah. He totally does.
Or a fat Fred Armisen.
Yeah, Fat Fred Armisen works as well. You're right. Well, we got tremendous enjoyment a week ago watching him on the Australian Today Show or something like that.
That's not a Today Show.
And so he's on there, and all of a sudden they get to the question about, you recently said on Bill Maher's show that Donald Trump is cheating on his wife. You know this for absolute certain. And all of a sudden he's like, "What?
I can't hear. I'm sorry.
I can't hear." And then what do you do in that situation? You just start taking your mic off and everything, unclip, and just walk out. And so people were like, "Boy, that seemed like an odd time for his mic to go, or his earpiece to go out." You know, inner ears don't just go out like that in mid conversation. It seemed odd, and so no one was really going to call him out on it. The Washington Post is like, "Dude, this guy is crumbling at the seams. This guy needs to just go the fuck away, because from here on out, there's not a respectable journalist in the professional field
who won't ask him that.
That would not ask him about this thing. So he needs to just fuck off and
Done
go
promo
away.
in that book.
Yeah. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. And so he was talking to Ben Fordham, who was the host of the Today Show out there. So, yeah, they say that this was the most unlikely technological breakdown in the history of Australian broadcasting. They were chatting sans glitch for minutes before the crippling audio hack overcame Wolf's earpiece. What's even better, Wolf appears to wait for gaps in Fordham's delivery to declare that he can't hear. We picked up on that. It's worth watching over and over and over again. I would agree as well with that. So now the broadcasters have released the footage from the London office where Michael was. And so we get to hear from the earpiece. So this should clear everything up now to see, we'll be able to tell exactly when the earpiece went dead.
Yeah, this technical gaffe that he experienced.
Yeah. Do you have it there, E? Which one's it coming up on? Laptop?
Well,
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. What's wrong? You look tired. You tired?
My bones hurt.
Yeah. What happened, E?
Comcast about that. I don't know. The internet, it's just cycling, dude.
You said during a TV interview just last month
that's
that
the earpiece
you are
audio.
absolutely sure that Donald Trump is currently having an affair while president behind the back of the First Lady. And I repeat, you said you were absolutely sure.
Yeah, I can't.
Just last week, however, you backflipped and said, I quote, "I do not know if the president is having an affair." Do
Look
you
at
owe
this
the
son of a
president
bitch
and
squirming.
the First Lady an apology, Mr. Wolf?
I can't hear you.
Waited just till that question ended.
Just
Hello?
last month, you said you were absolutely sure that the president was having an affair.
I'm not getting anything.
You're not hearing me, Mr. Wolf.
I'm not getting anything.
Oh, what?
No.
We were hearing each other.
Gosh,
well
it makes you wonder if he
before.
wrote a credible
I'm not
book. It
getting
just
it.
does. Sorry.
Oh, dude. We know he wrote a
Do you
very
hear-
incredible
I'm
book.
I'm not hearing anything.
Mr. Wolf was hearing me before, but he's
Yeah,
not
he's
hearing
still
me.
here.
I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah, no, crazy.
What a dick.
What a dickhead. You know what? Trump's White House, what a bunch of dickheads, too. How do you let this guy into your fucking orbit and let him hang out in the
Yeah,
White House
I
for
know.
6 months or a
Ridiculous.
year? It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Moving on to other things. We've got, did you hear that? This guy, what is with these people that can't just kill themselves, that have to wipe out their whole fucking family? We saw the girl that we knew, well, sort of knew, the witnesses, shunned her and she killed her whole family in Kego Harbor.
Oh, Jay remembers.
Yeah, I know.
I have no recollection of this woman. And you know what? I saw a picture of her in the yearbook, and I have zero recollection. I knew everybody else on the page.
Yeah.
And it's like this empty black hole. I'm like, I've never seen her in my life, man.
I know. Well, it's funny because
She's sitting right next to T-Roy.
dude, T-Roy, his last name and her last name, Couch and Courtney, are like, so they're page mates in the yearbook, and it's like, look at it, T-Roy.
I've never seen her.
I was like, hey, dude, how's it? Was there any signs that you saw from your former yearbook page mate that she would end up wiping out her whole family? He's like, what? He hadn't heard the story. I'm like, dude, wiped out the whole family, Kego, this and that. And he's like, dude, no way, that's crazy. Plus, she was hot.
Really? You knew her?
Fuck
God
yes, he
damn it.
did, dude. He totally knew her. I'm like, I don't, dude. I want to blast you more, but I have no recollection of her
Zero.
either. I don't either. So there's another guy, and boy, is that a strong jawline for him?
Yeah, that's strong, man.
Is that what's
he
going on?
He squared
there?
it off, didn't he?
He sure did. But here's another guy, and this is a renowned political science professor. Works at a couple Illinois colleges. He's a frequent guest on MSNBC, PBS, BBC. He's got pieces in the LA Times, the New York Times, like all these really credible outlets and stuff. But it's believed that he shot and killed his 2 young sons before turning the gun on himself. Police in Illinois found the bodies of the children and a man at the home of P.S. Ruckman Jr., who's just 58 years old. Cops are sent to the house. How would you like this? His estranged wife, Heidi is like, yeah, I haven't heard from anybody in a few days. Can you go over there? So the cops go over there like 7 in the morning and to do this welfare check. They found the man and the 2 boys in separate bedrooms with the gunshot wounds. Mrs. Ruckman, she's an attorney in Chicago. She was the one that requested the welfare check. He is a professor at Rock Valley College and also Northern Illinois. Expert on presidential pardons. What the?
Somebody has to be.
He's written 2 books. Would you think there's 2 books worth of material on presidential pardons?
Dude, he saw a market need and he filled it.
It
is something that's piqued our interest, honestly, with a Q. Over the years, it really has. Like, how the fuck does this go on? I know it's in the Constitution. I know it's allowed, but why? Why is this allowed?
What? The
presidential pardons.
I know.
What are we talking about?
Well, and he's kind of a fan of the puns too. You can tell with the titles of his book. Pardon me, Mr. President.
Oh, nice.
Adventures in Crime, Politics, and Mercy. And then the other book, I'm sure you've read this one, Jay. The Pardon, Power in the 21st Century.
Sure.
Those are the 2 books. So we're trying to figure out what the family dynamic was, what led to this tragedy. Turns out that they separated like in August. Okay, the couple going through a divorce, and they're splitting time with the kids. And it's like, for this mother, like...
That's when you see it, dude, this situation, right? Where there's a custody battle, and he wants to fuck her over, so he takes the kids with him.
Isn't that just so, like...
it's insane.
I just can't wrap my head around, like, I get it, dude. People break up, people go through, have long marriages, and someone cheats, and it doesn't work out, and it's devastating. It can be absolutely devastating for people. But the idea that you would go, I know how I can fucking destroy her, not just hurt her, but make sure that she is destroyed for the remainder of her existence.
It's diabolical. It's dastardly, Mike.
And it's not, I'm going to kill myself and make her see what, she'll rue the day. Rue the day that she decided to leave P.S. Ruckman Jr.
P.S. What does that stand for, by the way?
Piece of shit.
Philip Seymour?
Piece shit is what I'm going to say because of what he did. But yeah, that's like, I just think of my dad the way he was, and he did not like me a lot of the time. There was a lot of days where he was just like, fuck this kid. You know what I mean?
Him and his mullet.
Yeah. And, but I couldn't imagine him walking in with a gun. Like I'm walking in, now I'm going down the hallway with a gun in my hand. Now I'm opening my son's door. Hey, Dad, what's going on? Nothing. What you got in your hand there? What's with the gun? We going shooting or something? Sorta. Boom! And you shoot your kid's face off. Like, dude, how does it...
I don't know how you as a parent pull... I don't know how you pull that
You've
trigger.
never done that.
I've not, Mike.
No, I would...
to date.
I don't have any kids, thank God, because I wouldn't put it past me. But, yeah...
It goes against every instinct as a parent. It's insane.
That's what you would think. Especially, with like...
It just shows some people are just completely selfish and, right? I mean, he's just totally thinking about his own emotion. And...
Yeah. I guess I always wonder, like... Did that shit happen back in the 1950s? Did those sort of crimes exist?
Jesus, Bing it. I have no idea.
I don't either. I just don't remember reading about them in the 50s and 60s. You know what I mean? I don't remember them being... I would think those would be big stories, but it seems like we could do that story once a week. I'm 98 now. No, you would think you would have heard about, like, oh yeah, this is, every few, we hear about this a few times every year. You're not a hamburger. Oh, anyway, and then I got a couple students coming out from the Florida shooting.
Yeah,
who are claiming that one of their teachers, who was declared a hero,
not
a hero.
Oh boy,
how bad would that suck, dude? The media brands you a hero, and it's like you're on the hero tour now. You're giving interviews. You think of yourself as a hero. You're thinking down the road, possible parades in your honor.
What do you do? Do you embrace the heroism label, or do you just kind of go, oh boy, yeah, they've labeled me this, but I'm going to just sink into the corner here?
What you don't do is, I think you humbly accept the heroism charge.
Yeah.
And because you want that. It's like you want to go into a restaurant with your family one day and people go, hey, aren't you that teacher that was a hero? It's like, oh, God, that again. Anyone would have done what I would have done in that situation, But this guy was running with the hero thing, and I think he still wants to claim it. I think he still wants ownership of the hero tag. But now these two students are taking math teacher Jim Gard on, and Jim Gard is not happy about it. He was credited with protecting students in his classroom. And then we've got Josh Gallagher and Connor Dietrich, who are having none of it, and they've expressed contempt at Gard. Josh said Gard called himself a hero, and the media portrayed him as a hero, when in reality, he was the opposite.
Now I got you.
Josh said he was in Gard's class when the fire alarm went off. Students file out. Then they hear gunshots. About 15 of them froze before racing back to the classroom. Gard had, however, locked the door and refused to let him in.
Shit. Well, he's protecting those inside, right? Or was
depends
he
how you look at
alone
this.
inside? Was he alone
He
inside?
had like 6 kids inside.
He didn't know where the gunshot. Maybe it was them who had the gun, right?
Yeah. This kid's like,
Maybe.
man, we were stuck in a hallway for like 4 minutes just banging on the door, ducking in fear for our lives until a teacher Josh didn't know let them in another classroom. He's like, fucking math teacher Jim Gard over here let 75% of his students left him out in the hallway to be slaughtered.
Come on, Gard.
Gard gave a phone interview to CBS Miami while holed up in the classroom. He's giving interviews. Kids are in the hallway like banging on the door to get in. He's nothing but a coward, Josh said. He has re-victimized the students he left out of his class by calling himself a hero. Did he really call himself a hero? Because you can't...
Do we have audio?
Can you...
Jesus?
No.
Oh, I thought we were going to audio.
No.
Of him calling himself a hero.
Dude, is there any
I
situation...
thought you were teeing this up, Mike.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize. I just read that now in the story. I was like, oh, he really actually did call himself a hero? Is there any circumstance you can think of just off the top of your head, we have not discussed this pre-show, where it's okay to declare yourself a hero?
No.
No? Under any circumstance?
No.
What if a...
No. There's no circumstance.
E, could you declare yourself a hero? All right. Some guy's walking down the hallway of the school. He's got an AR, and he's just fucking lighting up. And E, you come out of nowhere. God knows where you got the courage. And you just stick this motherfucker and take him down to Chinatown. Would you go, yeah, I mean, I don't know where it came from. I was really my hero moment. What
Part and parcel of being a hero is that you don't label yourself it.
Okay. All right. Well, that's Gard's first mistake, apparently, was labeling himself a hero. Another student, Connor Dietrich, he's kind of backing up what Josh was saying. As one of the kids left in the hallway, I want people to understand how terrifying and defenseless I personally felt. The person I had to rely on left us to die, and that's not okay. Now, Gard is not taking this lightly. He's expressed shock at these stunning accusations.
Are there no other doorways in the hallway, by the way? Like, can't...
I don't know. I mean, it was just a thing of dominoes going down. They were shutting those doors and locking the fuck out of them. So Gard, he's not taking this. He says, I followed protocol. He's leaning on protocol. I looked back down the hall and no one was around. No one. I find that hard to believe, that there wouldn't have been a mad scramble of people, in the hallways. You have to close the door. That's protocol. We have no choice. He and 6 students were huddled in their own little locked room in the dark when they heard banging on the door. He said, he's prohibited from opening the door. I wanted to, but I'm prohibited. But I did walk over to it, and the banging stopped.
He needs to be
what if it had been the
better
shooter?
trained.
I know, but it
so
wasn't.
he's just supposed to open the door no matter what?
It wasn't. It was his students going, please, Mr. Gard, open the door. It's us. We're being...
Wouldn't the shooter say that if they
Did
wanted
they
to
give
shoot
him
more
the
people?
secret knock?
They didn't give the secret knock. They
I
didn't even
see.
have one
They didn't know.
established. And wait
But
for Gard to
seriously,
go.
should you just open the door no matter what?
I agree with Isis in
I mean,
small part here, but I do agree to some extent.
Well,
I'm just saying, just to
I
say
know,
that, oh
dude.
yeah, no,
there's
you
a,
do.
there's a shooting. Like you close the door, you lock it, you get everybody to the corner away from the door, right?
right, I understand that, but a hero What a hero does, I mean, if you're going to be labeled that, a hero recognizes that doesn't sound like the banging of a madman. That sounds like that sounds like the banging of 20 kids desperate to get back into the classroom.
A hero can distinguish such things.
Absolutely. If you hear just like, help, Mr. Gard, help, we're all locked out. Help, he's coming down the hallway, he's going to get us.
Gross.
Yeah. So Gard would look out and go, holy shit, I recognize all these kids. I don't see a gun anywhere. Let me just unlock the kid. Go, 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 go.
I tend to agree with you, Mike.
Shuffle 10 of them in, shut the door. Hero.
Is there a window on the door?
I don't know.
What if there's not, though?
I can see this both ways.
E does not want to give a hero label to anybody. Or he just wants to cower. You just want to cower and make excuses for it.
When if you're a psycho shooting up a school,
Yes.
why wouldn't you just lie and say, hey, let me in, I need help, and then boom.
E is correct that protocol was to lock the door and get the kids over there. But in order to be a hero, E, you got to
I'm not saying he's a hero, by the way. I'm not saying he's a hero.
Okay, well, nobody disagrees with your stance on the protocol. Okay?
I think Mike
We're
does.
all in agreement. Locking the door is the best policy.
Yeah.
But if you hear other kids banging that clearly aren't the shooter, I agree with Mike. You open the door, you get them the fuck in.
Yeah.
Then you lock it again. A door can be locked twice.
Good point. Listen.
Listen.
I don't want to remove hero labels from anybody. If you've earned the label of a hero, not declared by you, but by someone else, then congratulations to you. Let's say Gard is totally right. Gard is 100% right, followed protocol. Let's backtrack here and see what Gard did to become a hero, right? Gunshots go off. He goes, ah! Runs to the door, locks it, and then hides with 6 students.
See, if there was no students in there, I think it'd be one thing. But he was protecting 6 students.
But
boy, E, you get an easy hero label in E's life, don't you?
Okay,
no, I don't think he's a hero. That's not what I said.
Compare that to the guys on the train in wherever, when that guy was coming at him with a fucking machine gun.
Did they run away? They ran toward danger.
They ran at him. One guy, remember, he got his thumb almost cut off.
I do remember that.
And they tackled him and then just fucking pounded the shit out of him. And those guys got medals for that.
3 Americans. They're lucky there are Americans
Hell
there.
yeah.
So those damn Parisians weren't helping.
That's right. What's his name? Clint. Clint's making a movie about him now.
Yeah, he has made a movie. It's out.
I know. Is it? Yeah. What is it? Passenger or something? Or
those 3 guys are in the movie. Yeah,
proving once
themselves.
again that acting is just not that hard.
Well, you haven't seen it. Maybe it sucks, dude.
Dude, Clint would not put forth 3 shitbag actors. Would he?
No,
Would he?
of course not. No, I say that because of all the people. Howard Stern does a movie. He's great in it. Eminem is brilliant in 8 Mile. Is it that hard? Do you need to go to Julia? Do you need to go to be a professional thespian? We're seeing time and time again that 3 average dickheads off a train can pop into a fucking movie and be good in it. It's not that hard.
Act like themselves, albeit, but
yeah,
they were playing themselves.
Act them to act like
Shut
Roman
up, you don't
emperors
steal Jay's
or
answer.
Lesbians.
Yeah, maybe they would struggle with Shakespeare. I'll give you that. But, so Gard now has been walking around. And let's be honest, Gard has been cock of the walk in Parkway, Florida. Is that what Parkway?
Parkland.
Parkland. He really has been puffed up and like, hey, I don't know if you've heard about my heroism. I saved some students and stuff. He's been walking around town like that. And so they finally have their first, like, parents and kids are going to come back to the school day, meet with the teachers, and just kind of have this thing. And so Gard says, fast forward to Sunday, when the parents came back for the open house, all of a sudden, this kid comes tearing over and starts reaming me out. Then his father starts screaming at me, this is insane. There's no way to treat a hero.
Oh, he said that, did he really?
How many teachers didn't do what Gard did?
I would think all of them would do that, right? Like, in self-preservation mode, you would want to do that. Like,
lock the door.
Lock the fucking door, dude. I could see if you were even cowering and wetting yourself in the corner, just going, Paul, make sure you lock the door. Screaming, whoever's closest, lock the door.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like to think that I would be selfless in that situation. I really do. I really honestly do think that I would be selfless, that I would want to keep the door open and let as many kids in as could get in.
He's just scared to comment.
I'm not saying I would go running out and tackle someone.
With the skeptical look on my face. Isis, would you like to verbally comment on that?
I don't know, man. I don't really. You know what? I'm not going to say either way. I don't know. I'm not saying he's a hero. In fact, I don't think he's a hero. I don't think that you should ever declare yourself a hero, but
I think he would push kids out of his way to get into the classroom and lock kids out.
Okay.
Without any shame.
That's not true. I don't know that I would help, but I don't know that
4 years ago when we handled this subject, you said that very thing.
Yep.
Albeit a gas station, but it was the exact same scenario.
No, different scenario.
You were pulling Costanza.
Scenario.
No.
Costanza.
I can pull the exact scenario that you're talking about, and it's not the same thing. It's if someone is sitting there, flat out, a guy, I'm at the gas station, a stranger's behind me. A guy comes with a gun and says, one of you is going to die right now, you can pick. I'm picking him every time.
Yeah.
That's not the same, though, as pushing people out of my way in a fire.
I think you said you would throw basically every one of your family members in front of a speeding
we named
truck.
them one by one.
Yeah.
We went through babies, the elderly, middle-aged.
Nana. Dude, he would fucking wheel Nana in front of a bus.
If you remember, that's not true. I said Nana and parents, yes. I said sister and brother, no. And the only reasoning was they were younger than me.
No.
Andy
you did
wants
not
to
give
bang
a
his
shit about
sister.
Brian. Okay. Yes, you think your sister's hot. You said maybe your sister.
Because he might have a
fuck
chance.
Brian.
I did not say that about my sister.
He's not getting credit for saving Brian.
Maybe,
That's bullshit.
maybe I don't remember what I said about Brian, but I did not say I would. I did not say I would kiss. I did not say I would push my sister under the bus. That's not true.
Hey, Hamlin Pubs, they're inviting you to their 5 Metro Detroit locations. Come enjoy Hamlin Pubs' great food, drinks, and atmosphere, whether you're watching the game with your buddies, out for a meal with the family, or out for an evening with your girl. It's always a great time at their Rochester, Clarkston, Chesterfield, and 2 Shelby Township locations. And don't forget, Easus will be there at 25 Mile and Van Dyke on Saturday, March 17th, 7 to 11 a.m. Check out Big E over there at Hamlin Pubs and have kegs and eggs with Big E.
I'll be honest with you, man. I'm a little offended by the size of the guffaw you had when I said that I would. I like to. I didn't even say I would be a hero. I just like to think that I would be.
You have very inconsistent character going on because for years you've been like, I got to be honest. I'll be the first one, kicking people out of the way.
No, I've never said that.
You've never
Find the audio.
You've never taken the stance that you would help others. So when you come out of this like, oh, I would definitely help others.
I did not say I would definitely help others, and your guffaw was way over the line. I simply said I like to think. Nobody knows how they would react. For all we know, Jay, you're a ball of tears and wet pants laying on the ground in that situation. You've never been there. And I'm an absolute hero. We just don't know because we haven't been in that position. Agree. I like to think, though, that I wouldn't be cowering in a closet somewhere.
I like to think that, too, Mike. I hope you wouldn't.
But
I'm just saying
I'm
this
being
is like
honest, though.
It's an inconsistent stance. That's
Find
why
the audio.
That's why I was guffawing. I'm looking at you like, oh, really? Now Mike would think he'd be a hero, whereas for the last 4 years, it's been, I wouldn't fuck, dude. I got to be honest. I'd be the first one fucking, in the corner hiding.
Push that guy down.
Yeah.
I think
that was the purpose of my guffaw.
You're taking liberties with my words. I don't think you will successfully find audio of me going, yeah, I'd just be pushing babies out of the way. Fuck them. I don't think so, unless I was making a joke. That could be. Anyway, hopefully we get in some horrible terrorist attack.
I hope
we can
so.
test ourselves. You know what I mean?
God willing.
God willing, we'll get that opportunity, Jan. We'll see. We'll settle this once and for all, you son of a bitch. We'll see which one of us is a ball of tears and tinkled pants on the floor.
I am sure that I would be running away, by the way. I just don't think I'd necessarily push people down. But I would run away.
Speaking of terrorist attacks, have you watched the Looming Tower with Jeff Daniels?
Dude. Yes.
Yeah.
Have you watched it all?
Yeah, 3 episodes have dropped. I've watched all of them. I think they're doing 1 a week now for the next 6 weeks.
Oh,
or
really?
So.
They're not doing like 3 episodes every one. Fuck.
That was my understanding, at least. I know. It was nice to plow through 3.
Totally.
What'd you think of it?
I loved it.
Yeah, it's good.
Jeff Daniels is great.
Jeff Daniels is so good.
The guy playing Ali Soufan is really good, and it pisses me off because we should be able to get Ali Soufan on this fucking show. He's had 2 books. We've requested interviews, and he's been busy. He's got his own group in New York, a consulting firm. Maybe we should circle back and try to get him again because I am fascinated by his story. Absolutely fascinated. He's the guy that interrogated,
Khalid Sheikh Mohammed.
Yeah. I mean, he's
the guy famously in his stupid picture with a hairy-ass back and a T-shirt on, just looking like a dipshit because he was pulled out of bed at 3 a.m.
Yeah, with what looks like one of those flash dance sweaters on and just
off
bush.
the shoulder.
It's just neck, shoulder. Everything is just bush. Looks like a bear of a man. And he's just got that goofy, fat face looking. But that dude's in a room interrogating that guy. And dude, I'll tell you, the actor that plays him, he's really got his accent down. Like, he must have worked hard because Ali Soufan has a very...
Or he's Lebanese? possibly?
Well, I know, but I know other Lebanese people. They don't sound like Ali Soufan, but this guy really did. I was like, wow. If you listen to interviews with him, this guy actually went out of his way to capture.
If this portrayal is to be believed, can you believe how frickin' contentious the relationship between the CIA and FBI was?
I know.
My God,
I know.
man. That is really tragic that happened, that 9/11 happened in large part because these assholes couldn't get on the same page.
Well, and not that they couldn't get on the same page. They fucking went out of their way to not.
They were saboteur was amongst
Yeah.
them. They were sabotaging each other. They were on operations. And
why don't we back up, Jay, and tell people basically what the Looming Tower is about?
Yeah, it's about 9/11 and the lead up to 9/11. It's a book.
Yeah.
This series, though, starts, I think, in 96, where they start telling the story about how bin Laden is growing in power and how the concern right off the bat from the FBI and CIA is there. And, of course, there was that earlier bombing, which they don't cover, at least in the miniseries.
Is that the 93?
Correct, yeah, the Twin Towers. Yeah, they try to blow it up from below. It doesn't work. But the New York FBI bureau chief, who is John O'Neill.
John O'Neill, yeah.
And he's played by Jeff Daniels, is all over the counterterrorism aspect for the FBI. And then there's another guy,
I can't remember
his peer in the CIA
Right.
is equally onto Osama, but they're not sharing shit and they're hiding shit. And the FBI guys are trying to go to CIA meetings. They're closing doors and locking them, pulling down shades so they can't see pictures that are posted on the whiteboard and so forth. And it's just an internal strife when there's these two agencies that are speaking with speaking with advisors to the president, trying to get the president's ear on things
and get proper funding and resources. Because you got to remember, before 9/11, you didn't think 9/11 was possible.
Yeah,
you just didn't think anyone would. If a plane is hijacked, they want money. They're going to land it somewhere.
But these guys clearly knew that something big was possible, and they were, both sides, to their credit, were dead set on stopping it. It's just they were fighting each other while they were doing it.
I watched a documentary about John O'Neill recently, and
apparently a real cocksucker.
Yeah, he's the guy that Jeff Daniels is playing in the Looming Tower. Slick back hair, New York guy with fancy Cadillac SUV and the fucking high price clothes.
4 different mistresses.
He's married with kids, but he's got 4 bitches on the side. He's going broke because he's renting this one an apartment. He's sleeping he's a real piece of shit. And he ends up losing his job, not to spoil it for people. He ends up losing his job with the FBI and takes on a head of security role at the trade towers. Okay? On 9/11, he's there, and 9/11 happens, and those planes hit. John O'Neill sprinted into that fucking towers and went downstairs in one of them, and the towers came down, and that's how he was killed. Now, the guy at the CIA that's leading his counterpart at the CIA, he's being interviewed. They're talking to actual people from that time, and I'm like, these guys really couldn't bury things. They couldn't get on the same page. They were willing to sabotage their own missions just to fuck that guy over. And this guy's given an interview, and he actually says, yeah, the only good thing about 9/11 was that fucker died when the building came down on him. So there was no relief for that relationship, even when John O'Neill was crushed by the building. I mean, think about how much hatred you have for each other.
Yeah.
So, if you're into that sort of thing, it's crazy. And how frustrating, Jay, would it be if you're in a task force? And back then, my point to saying, before 9/11 happened, you didn't think 9/11 was possible. Imagine being on a task force that's relatively small because no one really believes you. Oh, they're just a bunch of ragtag guys living in a cave in Afghanistan. What the fuck are they going to do to the almighty America? And these guys are desperately trying to get them to understand, no, dude, you don't understand how committed they are.
Hell-bent on this.
Yes, you have to listen to us. How frustrating that would be when you're like, he's here. We have credible eyewitness. He's here. Well, drop a fucking bomb on this cave and you'll get him.
Yeah, and Clinton is distracted by Lewinsky at the time.
Yeah. Oh, terrible.
Looks good, though.
Yeah, the first 3 episodes are fantastic. They really are. All right, why don't we take a quick break, and then I got to show you a basketball shot from a high school game over the weekend in New York to win it all, dude, to win a state championship, a state title.
Exciting.
Amazing shot. We'll get to that and much more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
All right. Welcome back to the Detroit Cast, powered by DealsWithD.com. Kind of an exciting week ahead for us, Jay.
Don't say it.
Why?
Because you're going to jinx anything
I'm
you
not
say.
going to jinx shit. We're supposed to talk to Martin Starr as they're about to fire up the new season of Silicon Valley on HBO. I'm excited for
I
that.
love that show.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, man, without Bachman.
Goodbye, Bachman.
Yeah. You know what? Good.
Develop the other characters.
Yeah. So we talked to Martin last year and had a blast with him. And then have you dug into Jim Florentine's book yet?
Yep.
You're not a fan?
I know a lot of people are. He's just...
Yeah,
I'll be totally honest. He's just totally not. He's not for me.
Yeah,
that's not. I'm not like the big New York brash comedy. Yeah, stick it in her ass kind of.
Yeah,
I get it. There's a market for that. I get a lot of people like Jim Norton and him and that sort of thing.
Yeah, sure. I love Florentine because of his storytelling. Like, you're not going to get it out of the book, really. But I'm enjoying the book because it's basically just a shot at Facebook and what people do on social media. And
it's spot on.
It is spot on. It's a lot of the shit we've bitched about. And
he really boils it down and analyzes it, and it is pretty funny.
Yeah, it's his new book called Everybody's Awful Except You.
Except you, in parens. Like, buy my book. Except you.
Except you. You get it, but not everyone else. The thing, though, is he's famous for his crank calls. That's kind of how he got started, was his crank calls. And so I was reading about his early crank calls, and I think, Jay, I mean, if you're up for it, if you want to run
a little
by...
Scotty McGregor?
If you
Drop
want
a little Scotty?
If you want to run a little early Scotty McGregor by him and just see if there was potential.
If it can pass muster.
What was... So Scotty's big thing was...
I'm Scotty McGregor. And then the big moment, right? The big fucking...
Hang him on as long as you
could.
And
then the reveal is, I'll show you my penis.
Yeah.
And then me and Merc would just be, head to the side.
I mean, just
belly laugh,
losing his shit,
covering up the phone.
Yeah.
As we're listening to this, 38-year-old white woman go, you guys are freaking idiots.
What are you, 10? Click. Yeah.
We didn't have much more than that. We just had, I'll show you my penis.
I was always thinking, and I don't want to offend you, Jay, in any way. I certainly don't mean to. I would have thought you and Merc as a team would have been capable of more than, I'll show you my penis.
Well, don't forget, we were only in the 3rd or 4th grade.
I understand that, but even still,
I admit it.
You two, yeah.
It's not bad for a 3rd, 4th, 5th grade prank call.
It's better than...
Because you were back then going, is your refrigerator running? Then go catch it sort of shit.
It's better than, do you have Prince Albert in a can? Well, let him out. He's gonna drown, I'll give you that, but still, like... I don't know, but then I read in Florentine's, he's famous for his crank calls. He was on Crank Yankers, for Christ's sake. Mm-hmm. And his initial one was to a chick in school with his buddy. His version of Merc was Tony, I think, and she just had huge tits. She had like 36 C's in grade school, and so they called her, got her number, and called, and were just like, yeah, what's your bra size?
That's it.
And then she was like, ugh, hangs up. And then the next day at school, marches up to him and is like, would you fucking clowns grow? Like, she knew exactly who it was.
That's all they had, man.
Yeah.
So from that germinated this beautiful tree of prank calling.
Yeah, I didn't know he was doing the telemarketing thing. Like, I knew about Tom Mabe, obviously, Revenge on the Telemarketers, but Florentine was doing the same thing. Like, he was home all day, didn't have to do shit until 9 o'clock at night when he had to do a comedy set in New York. So he'd just wait for the phone to ring, and then he'd fuck with telemarketers.
Lead them on, man.
Yeah.
That's the best thing you can do if you hate telemarketers. Just lead them on. Because what they want to do is if you're not interested, they want you to hang up and move on. We know that because we're telemarketers.
Yeah.
The worst thing possible was to think you had one on the line.
Yeah.
And then to be told 8-10 minutes later that it was all bullshit.
Yeah. Well, you were all about... churning numbers. This is how we make money.
It's a numbers game.
It's a numbers game. I've got 2 minutes to reel this old bird in or get the fuck out of here.
It's not going anywhere. Boom, done. On to the next old bird.
But after 500 straight, fuck off! Don't ever call here again. Click.
But we're calling from the Michigan Association of Police.
Fuck off! Click.
Don't you care about the kids and the child?
I have your number. I know where you are. I'll kill you.
The Children Beware program. Mrs. McGillicuddy?
It was...
Don't you care about the kids?
500, fuck off, don't ever call here again. and then you'd get some old bird going, I don't know. Did we do it last year? I think you did. I believe you did, ma'am. I've got you down here for $100. You want to do this? I'll put you down for the same thing this time. And you bilked some old woman out of $100. Excuse me.
And you were happy as a clam.
But when you did get someone strung along that was either fucking with you or whatever, it was kind of a nice break from the fuck off, don't ever call here again guy.
Oh, no. That was the worst, Mike.
To me, it was.
That was,
Sorry,
for you. No, to me, it was like, no, I want to move on because the more you brought in, obviously, the more you made per hour. Like, you fell on this table. Remember that table?
What the payment was? Or?
You made, like, $475 base.
Okay.
And then if you
that might have been more than I made.
Then if you sold X amount during the month, they looked at your monthly total.
Right.
Then they get, or the biweekly. I'm sorry, you paid biweekly. They looked at it biweekly. How much did you bring in? And you fell on this table. So you might get up to $545 or something.
Oh, absolutely.
It's tremendous upside.
There was always. I remember that board, that white board where they had everyone's names and it knew what you sold. I think the money had to come in before they could cut you your percentage. Though it was like. They were not just going to,
yes.
go, McGillicuddy said she's sending $100.
The problem was.
That check had to fucking clear.
No, here's what had to happen. You had to hand McGillicuddy over to the girls at the front. And the girls at the front had to close it. So you're counting on these bitches to close it.
Did you get burned by them on
for
occasion?
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure. They'd be like, yeah, well, McGillicuddy ducked out. Fuck!
Yeah.
Man.
It was my big one for the week.
Dude, I was trying to go from 475 to 480 there. Yeah. You know?
Well,
damn it.
The funny thing was that board that had all of our names on it, it was like, oh, man, I'm towards the bottom of the list. I haven't sold shit to anybody. I've sold like one in 4 days. That stinks. And then there was always one fucking guy in the office who just murdered
it.
He just murdered. And yours was a Nazi, wasn't he?
I had a guy sitting with me who had a Nazi poem tattooed on his forehead.
Yep.
And he was just like butter on the phone. Oh, Mrs. Smith. It's so good to hear from you tonight.
What a wonderful day today.
It was unbelievable. This guy was Eddie Haskell times 20.
Yeah.
But he was so good. It's all he could do.
Had to be.
It's all he could do, man. He's backed into a corner once he tattooed that shit on his forehead.
Yeah, he could launch a new, like white power website and see if he could get some advertising. It's
before the internet.
Yeah, true.
He had nothing. He had telemarketing.
Dude, he had to do something where I never see another person's face. And I'm kick-ass at sales, but I've really kind of boxed myself in with the whole Nazi poem on the forehead.
Dude, remember how smoky it was in there?
Oh.
I mean, everybody's just smoking.
Everybody.
And you're packed into like an elementary school size room.
You wouldn't have believed it,
Probably 22 people, 22
Cubicles.
Adults. Just sitting
cubicles.
there with an ashtray on their desk, a fucking old dial phone, and a stack
phone book.
of shit. Yeah, to start dialing from Bressers, right? Bresser sheets.
What would happen if you...
Oh, my God, Bresser sheets. And they had hot leads. Like, these people bought last year. We'll give you some hot leads.
Well, that was the thing. Once you got beyond the Bressers, if you stuck in there for like 2 months, they'd start you on hot leads. And so you got these people who bought last year, bought in the past, and it was tremendously helpful.
Dude, this is
really
the
was.
always be closing speech from Baldwin and not Wall Street, but that famous scene. Like that's
Glenn
Ross was it. Where if you got to a certain level, it's like you haven't earned these home runs
cards.
As if Mrs. McGillicuddy could be dead. She made a mistake last year. She has no idea what she did. But yeah, those and as if anyone made it 2 months in those places. I almost laughed out loud when you said that. I don't think I made it more than a week, but holy shit. So anyways,
we're gonna have
Florentine at some point this week. I wanted to show you this basketball shot, Jay. Julian McGarvey of Ardsley High School. You think back to your high school days, and it's like you're playing in the big game.
Yeah, freshman ball. I remember it well.
Dude, you have that moment. It's like, dude, you score the winning touchdown, the winning goal, the buzzer beater in a massive tournament, in the state finals. Like how awesome!
How about
that
if you're
feel?
plumbing and you score on the wrong basket?
Oh,
he did that.
He did.
He
In
did.
what grade?
Freshman. Yeah, he scored in the wrong basket.
Yeah. Was it layup,
Coach
or did he run down the court?
No, he skied for the rebound, fought for it, and just went back up with a defensive rebound. And I guess it clicked in his head that it was an offensive rebound. And
not the smartest cat.
Just put her right
ever.
back in.
Yeah, he did score though. I mean, in his defense, he did put it in the basket.
Freshman ball, dude.
So think about Julian's last 3.9 seconds of this game. Okay, he's on the line. Class A, Section 1 high school title game. His team's down 51-49. He's at the stripe. Brick. Brick.
Oh, no.
Misses them both. So that's where we pick this up, as he's playing defense now, and this other team's got 3.9 seconds to kill.
Okay. They're trying to inbound the ball.
Yep. All they got to do is inbound the ball, and we'll go home, everybody.
See the pudgy white kid?
No, he's on the other side of the half court.
Okay.
So, Julian at this point is going to be destroyed in school. Like all he's got to do is hit those 2 free throws, and it's tied up. We're going to OT, whatever. But he choked, and so the whole school is down on him. Go ahead, Isis.
And over the shoulder, and he heaves it. 3/4 court, boom, boom.
Dude.
Nothing but net.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed those 2 free throws on purpose.
Let me just win this so we don't have to go to OT and fuck with that.
Let me just grab this ball, stumble, and chuck it 70
Did he
feet.
travel?
And travel.
I want to see it again.
Yeah, he travels.
Oh, no. You're going to call him out for the travel?
I'd like to see the
definitely
replay.
travels, dude.
He's getting boxed after this. Look at him. He's being mobbed. The whole...
All right. Oh my God, he traveled twice.
Yeah.
Dude, so under protest if I'm that other team.
Yeah, that's worse than Douglas. Well, not as bad as Douglas, but...
That was insane. That was like a Chris Webber calling a timeout.
Dude,
travel.
can the ref blow the whistle at that point?
Yeah.
Can
Yes.
you? You would.
Absolutely.
Son of a bitch. You're the one giving tickets out in 2nd grade.
I'd blow the whistle. I'd be getting these kids off the court.
I mean, oh shit, I didn't realize it was going in slow motion.
Yeah, let me see it in slow-mo.
Honestly, aren't you totally bitching if you're the other team? That was such an obvious travel.
Let's see. Makes the catch. 1, 2,
3,
3,
4.
4,
He jumps
5,
by
6.
6. Dude.
6 steps.
That's
All right.
insane.
He jumps at it.
Still a pretty dope-ass throw. But 6 steps is definitely a travel.
He went from heel to hero.
I don't even think you could give that to LeBron.
No.
You know what I mean?
That's brutal.
So he's like, yeah, it looks like the whole world's ending, and I'm about to start balling on the court because I just missed the free throws to win the game for my team. And then they threw it at half court. I catch it, stumble a bit.
6 steps.
Take 6 steps. Throw it as I'm falling back, and it found the bottom of the net. As soon as it left my hand, my first thought was, the coach says, he has the greatest arm I've ever seen. This has a chance. He's like, I didn't think it was going to go in, but that was Sean Cappiello, the Ardsley coach.
High school.
He said he's also a football player. He's set to play quarterback at Marist College
Hell
next
yeah.
year. I'd say
Eye black and everything.
hell yeah. And so the kid says, yeah, I'd say the quarterback arm helped a bit. Throw it up high, let your receiver catch it up there. But this time I hit the post right in the bottom of the net.
After traveling 6 times.
Yeah, well, he won't have to worry about that in college football. He can take 6 steps and let it go.
Happy feet. They'll call it happy feet.
Happy
there.
feet. Dancing back there.
Hey, Zott Ford, conducting its amazing Key for Key event. Exchange your current vehicle for a brand new Ford without spending a dime out of pocket. Zott Ford will assist you in terminating the remainder of your loan or your lease, no matter what you owe. Say straight Key for Key exchange. Give them the keys to your vehicle, and they'll give you the keys to a brand new Ford. Plus, Zott Ford will make your first payment. Hurry, this is a limited time event.
Look at that poops.
Look at the poops.
Look at that little poops.
Dude, I heard about this. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, 2-year-old
I'm
girl.
upset about it.
Yeah, she died Friday after a mirror fell on her head.
Trying on shoes.
Trying on shoes at Payless. Dude, can you think of anything more innocent than take your kids to Buster Brown or Payless shoes? Trying on little shoes, and she gets smashed over the head by a fucking full-length mirror. Shouldn't she have seen that coming, though? I mean, it was a mirror.
Yeah, like, I'm getting bigger. I'm getting bigger.
I'm getting way too big. I'm only 2. I shouldn't be this big. Like, stop, drop, and roll or something. I don't know. Little poor little thing. Ifrah Siddique, severely injured. No, she was worse than severely injured. She was killed. This story's wrong. How does a mounted full-length mirror come undone? Just after 8 o'clock, she was trying on little tiny shoes.
The world's an imperfect place, you know.
Her
Fasteners don't fasten.
They should. I mean, did you go into the 2x4, or did we just go into
Seriously,
drywall?
It's drywall, obviously.
Some asshole just went into drywall.
And then why? Like right at that moment, you know?
I know.
Like how many hours of the day is there no one in front of that stupid mirror?
I know.
It just happens as little 2-year-olds there.
Ugh. I know. And it's like, as a parent, you have to be going, Like, I work so hard to make sure they don't eat, Tide Pods, and they don't,
because they look delicious.
They really do. I mean, I know how bad they are.
I know how hard I work to make you not eat Tide Pods,
right?
Let alone a 2-year-old.
You work your ass off to make sure the kid looks both ways and doesn't just run into the street when a ball goes bouncing in there.
Choo choo, not too much in your mouth.
Some parents work on that, by the way. I was bowling over the weekend, and I had a family.
I thought we were
going to
peel the onion on the fades here.
Yeah.
Damn it!
No, dude.
Oh, this is someone else.
I know you just said that, and it just struck me. I was bowling this weekend, and like this family, dude. I'm bowling from 11 to 1 in the morning, and they're still there with their freaking 6-year-olds, and they're just. Their dad just sitting on the table, looking at his phone, while his kids are just running through both lanes.
No protocol being observed.
While me and Chubbs are trying to...
Sir, you have a job to do. You are sending them out into society. Please do your fucking job.
Dude, it was just literally a dad
it's like,
staring at his phone.
Here's what kills me, too, about the timing of that. That dad is in free time right now. Those kids should be in bed. That's your free time, dude.
Yeah.
11 to 1, that range, that's your free time, man.
Be balls deep in his woman right now, 8 beers deep.
Yeah.
And 6 inches deep.
And the kids should be in bed.
Totally.
But instead, he's out there not monitoring his
Dude, there was
kids.
literally a wrestling match at one point.
I got a Facebook check. I got to see my updates.
There was a wrestling match at one point. But likely they had 2 lanes, and then so they had 2 lanes. They were wrestling between their own 2 lanes, just on the floor.
This girl's father, Marion Siddique, he feels like I feel dead, like I am no more.
Oh, Marion.
So to end that, it's like, of all the places you think you can take your kid, and all right, I can take. I can exhale really quick. He's gonna try on some tiny wee shoes. This
have little Pooh Bears on the end of them or something.
Yeah, this is about as safe a place as you can be as Payless shoes.
Now, is it going to come out that the kid was fucking with the mirror, or his little brother
me.
or something? There's 2 sides to this, Mike.
I think she was just trying on little shoes.
I want to know if these parents have DUIs or something. I mean, do they?
I want to know if Payless is collectible, because that shit's going to get sued hard.
Dude, Payless. Well, they're not going to get sued after this statement, because they are.
Have they taken care of it? Thoughts, prayers, everything?
Deepest sympathies. I mean, when you talk about sympathies, there are sympathies. Our sympathies, however, are the deepest you can get. These are our deepest sympathies. Those deep sympathies go out to the family of Ifrah Siddique during this time of incredible loss. We are devastated by this tragic event and are fully cooperating with authorities to reach and understand the nature of this accident. So they want to know if she was fucking with the mirror too, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything we can get out? Is there a technicality we can get out of this with? Out of respect for the family, no further information will be provided at this time. And all I'm thinking is, cute. Just pull your checkbook. What the fuck, dude? No one cares about your deep sympathies.
Dude, they are praying the CCTV shows some malfeasance on the part of the child.
Can you imagine if,
just praying that she's just prying on it, and she's got 2 siblings who are prying on it too.
And the dad's sitting
2 kids with crowbars.
And when he's not, the dad's on his cell phone, just over and over, just fucking bang, bang, palm to the mirror, and the thing you can just see it coming loose. They did everything they could wrong to fuck with this thing. Yeah. Oh, poor little thing. You look at that little girl though, and it stinks.
I know, she's a cute.
Yeah, she is a cute. Probably should have seen it coming at 2.
It's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. It's getting bigger.
It's a mirror. If it was drywall, she didn't hear anything. Probably got her headphones on and shit. Whatever, fine. But dude, it's a mirror.
I know.
Did you see in Washington? Only Washington, D.C. They got a new statue up. Marion Barry. 8-foot bronze statue of Marion Barry in D.C.
Of course, this is the mayor who famously was caught on video snorting coke.
No, he was smoking crack.
Oh, yeah, he was smoking crack. Sorry.
He's in the window with a...
Sorry, I didn't want to...
Dude, I could forgive him doing a line, but smoking crack in a window in a
hotel...
Crack
is whack.
Oh, my God, yeah.
But he was let off, right? Because it was entrapment? Was that what it was judged?
He was
or am I thinking of John DeLorean?
No,
Were both of them entrapment?
No, I
John
thought
DeLorean
went
was
away.
definitely entrapment.
Well, he didn't go to jail for that long.
Okay, so then he got out, and then he got reelected, right? That
Dude,
son of a bitch.
Immediately ran for office and won, like in a landslide. He was back being mayor in no time.
It's like a Coleman Young situation. Like,
totally.
Dude's just bilking the city, just fucking them over. They're like, yep.
It's so funny. Like,
take him.
If you look at D.C. residents, people depending on which side you're on. People think he is an absolute champion for the city's poor.
Yeah, he fell victim to the crack. So many people have.
That happens. It was a 1990 FBI sting. Was that what the sting was?
He's not a perfect man, Mike.
Well, no, and no one says he has to be.
We're all sinners.
In D.C., his legacy is far more complicated and emotional than just like, the whole crack smoking thing.
It's not a bad statue, as bronze statues go. I think the last bronze statue we looked at was Lucille Ball. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
Or was it Ronaldo? These things can go awry real quick.
Yeah,
and it's usually the amount of space between eyes.
Yeah, you're right. When you get that goat space, that Shepherd Smith look,
just a quarter-inch can make you look like a fucking goat.
It's a spectacular.
It's great. It's a great image.
This 8-foot rendering in bronze of Marion Barry, it's spectacular.
It is. It's nicely done. That's no fucking Lionel Richie clay head.
No, not even a little bit. I mean, that is well done. I'm not faulting the sculptor at all. He was paid to do a job, and he nailed it.
Does he have little hands? Little Trump hands?
Nah, I don't have a problem with those hands.
Okay. Good to hold a crack pipe in.
Yeah, I guarantee people are going to put crack pipes in that hand and take pictures. Guarantee it, dude. I want to do that now.
That's a good idea, actually.
So yeah, they say it's a complicated situation here. So they put this up now. 8-foot statue now looms over Pennsylvania Avenue, just blocks from the White House. He is the first locally elected official to be honored with a statue in the city. The move may seem mystifying to non-Washingtonians. I would agree with that. As a non-Washingtonian,
mystifying is apt.
It's gobsmacked. I'm gobsmacked at this tribute to him. But among supporters, they say the statue is an appropriate tribute to a man so popular he walked out of federal prison and immediately began winning elections again. He was a living legend, City Councilman Trayvon White said during an appearance on a local radio show. And then the very first caller they got on that show, first he goes, dude, he was an abysmal mayor who presided over an era of corruption and mismanagement, but now benefits from what we know as convenient historical amnesia.
I'm looking for some drugs here. I could care less what you guys have going on between you two.
1978, he becomes Washington's elected mayor. He served 3 terms, marked by increasingly erratic behavior, corruption allegations, widespread suspicions and allegations of drug and alcohol abuse. Then the 90 sting caused him not to seek a 4th term. He was sentenced to 6 months in prison. He gets released in 92. Throughout his entire career, he was dogged by legal troubles, corruption allegations, drunk driving arrests, and a host of other issues.
But he was always able to couch it as a racist issue, right?
Totally.
It's whitey attacking me.
It's the ultimate card. It's the ultimate card. Go, oh yeah, the only reason you give a shit is because I'm black and you don't want a black leader.
I've made it to power, and here they are trying to strike me down.
Strike me down. God damn it, my 4th DUI, motherfuckers. Why don't you leave me alone? Let me drive drunk home, motherfucker. I know how to drive drunk and shit. Some people are like, yeah, he may not be perfect, but he's perfect for DC. Yeah, he is. Hilarious. Anyway, how are we doing for email?
We do have some email, Mike. If you'd like to write into the show, listeners, send your thoughts to email@detroitcast.com. That seems apropos, doesn't it, for email to a show? Email@detroitcast.com. Don't worry, that was a stapler falling to the ground.
Oh, okay. No, I wasn't worried.
An unloaded stapler.
I thought it was a gun going off, and I was going to run to see who I saved first. I was just like, am I going to dive to save Jay first?
Why would you even think that, man?
I know. Well, I was just like
second nature,
dude. My immediate reaction was, I got to save both these guys. How do I do it? And then I was like, nope, I can only save Jay. But then I realized it was a stapler.
Anthony writes in, judging hot women, and dude, this is so apt, and I think this is why we've had this disconnect for years. Anthony points us to the great Patrice O'Neill, gone too soon, but he had a system 1 to 30, which takes care of, really, I think, the disconnect between us all. Now, listen here. Again, insert catchy names, says Anthony. The 1 to 30 scale should be the norm for gauging the hotness of a woman. Here's an explanation of the 130 scale, invented by comedian Patrice O'Neill. The scale is simple, it replaces a 1 to 10. The 1 to 10 seems easy and practical to use, but it also gets in a gray area around the 6 to 8 range. It's very true.
Very true.
Because if you give the girl a 6, then it seems like she could be uglier than what she is because it's almost a 5, which would be average.
That's great.
Anything below a 4 just is thought of being below average and untouchable, but some 4s could possibly be okay. But if you give the girl a 7 because you think she's better than a 6, then you put her close to the 8s, which are reserved for fine women. we find ourselves saying stuff like she's a 7.2. This is where the 1 to 30 scale makes up for all that. Think of the 1 to 30 broken up in 3 parts. 1 to 10 is ugly women.
Yeah.
11 to 20 is average women. 21 to 30 is fine
this
women.
This is so Patrice O'Neal at his best, dude. If you want to laugh your fucking ass off, go to YouTube and just search Patrice O'Neal women, Patrice O'Neal relationships, and you will get this type of shit. It's killer.
Once you determine what group a certain woman belongs to, you can then give her a true rating on her scale. Examples: Hope Hicks to Anthony, he says, it's not hot to me. She looks average to me. I'd give her a 13, meaning she's an ugly-looking average chick.
No way.
Her job boosts her to a 16. I'm with Anthony, man. Hey, Halle Berry is fine. I'd give her a 29. She's a fine-ass fine woman. Now, there's a waitress at a bar I go to often that I like for some reason. I'd give her a 10. She's a fine-ass ugly chick. It's something about her, though, that's cute, but she's not turning heads in public. Before we start rating women as hot or not, we need to first define what group they belong to. Bam, gentlemen. That's what I've been trying to
That's
do.
Acceptable. That's
because
acceptable.
I don't like... I want to reserve those top numbers for the very top. And you go, oh, hot as shit. I'm like, words mean things, gentlemen.
I know they do. Okay, do you guys, as a group, show of hands, do you guys want to adopt the 1 to 30 scale?
Show of hands.
For
second.
here going forward. Heretofore. We will adopt that. Listeners, if you're listening now, we are now on the 1 to 30 scale that Patrice O'Neal invented.
Motion granted. 1 to 10 is ugly women, 11 to 20 is an average woman, and 21 to 30 is fine. So we first put them into a category, and then we range within there.
Okay, and I think that's absurd to say that Hope Hicks is in the media.
She's an average woman.
If you want to give her a 21 and say she's an ugly hot chick, fine. That's what the eyebrows are for.
You're assuming she's a chick. See?
No, she is a chick. There's no evidence that she's got a dong in there. And I think if you give her a 21, you're acknowledging at least she's got a great body, she's a pro, she's hot, but those fucking eyebrows are a problem, and I'm knocking 9 points off the top. And you give her a
Plus
21.
the possibility that there's a dude down there.
But if you start throwing it in the middle category, think about what the middle category is.
Please.
Think about the middle
category. Allow me to
category.
rate my women, okay?
Dude, to give Hope Hicks a 16 is absurd.
That's what Anthony did. I'll give her a 19.
That's what I was going to give her.
She's on the high end of average women.
We've got.
It's the possibility of frickin' Franken Beans down there that's keeping her in there.
Can we? You know what? Over the next few weeks, Jay, let's start identifying 1 to 30 in our minds. Let's find a picture for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up. So we just have a baseline like
Can
a
you
10
imagine if on the wall you had a 1 to 30?
Right. And then
and then you went like this?
Right. If we can agree on a 1, a 10, a 20, and a 30,
yes,
then that gives us some context.
And I'm talking, you've got a girl that shit her pants sitting on the sidewalk and missing teeth, and you go, guys, that's a 1, right?
Yes.
Does anyone want to argue for a 2? You know, and then if we get a baseline, it's like Lena Dunham is a 3. You know, we start working our way up the ladder. I don't know how you're ever. I mean, I guess Gab will just be our 30 because
you could go 1 and 30 and then fill in the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could go just drastic ends and.
Let's start working on that. So where would this girl be?
Dude, I saw that picture earlier and I was about to throw her out as a 2. Man.
Yeah. Oh, but see, this is where you got to be careful. By just throwing a grade 2 out there at a woman, her body could be spectacular. She's 25.
That's what I'm saying. I'm giving her.
She might have glowing teeth.
Possible chance that there's a body there because her face is as ugly as it gets.
It looks cement-like. It's cement-like.
Frightening.
It looks like it belongs on a wall.
Frightening.
It's too squared off. It's too.
Who is it?
That. But that's not a 2, right, E?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, you couldn't say that was a 2, but you would on a 1 to 10. You would probably.
Why can't I say that's a 2?
But I think on a 1 to 30, I don't think you could say.
What do you
that's a 2.
think that is, E?
I could see it being a 6 or a 7.
Fuck.
Does she have a line of Skeletorian bloodline?
Dude, that is possibly the ugliest
Skeletorian in there.
I mean, that's as ugly a face as you get.
Dude,
yeah, but that's why there's butter faces.
Hold on, E. This is like she's just born in the wrong era. If this was 1880, she'd be hot. She'd be a pro. This is what you would get in 1860s. You know, no one smiles for the camera. It's a lot of dust and dirt.
Put her out on a prairie somewhere.
Yeah.
High lace-up boots.
See the body, obviously.
You know, she's out there working the plow.
Sure.
She's on a field somewhere working a plow.
She's a sturdy woman.
Fuck yeah. She's got childbearing hips. That's all the rage.
Yeah. How are her teeth? Teeth good?
I don't know. She refuses to open that mouth. Refuses.
I'm sticking with it too, man, until
I think,
further evidence is
all
presented.
Right. Okay. Well then where do you put that, Jake?
Dude,
Let's see what.
That's a 1.
No, dude, a
1.
I'd say like a 3.
We're not going to agree on shit. I wish people could see the pictures we're putting up.
How would you rate that, Mike?
I would rate it as a fucking 0, but I'm saying you got to remember there's always worse. So we have to find the worst person on earth.
I think
that might be it.
I know. I saw her the other day too, and was like,
It's
how could
horrible.
you leave your kid with that chick? Of course she killed him.
Yeah,
she's
she
a
killed
nanny.
her own kid.
Yeah, a nanny that killed like 4 kids or some shit.
In her defense, she made it 18 days with her kid before killing it. It wouldn't stop fucking crying.
Yeah, she had a problem with him.
Dude,
crying.
She hated these things crying. She's like, yeah, told my husband like a decade ago I probably shouldn't babysit. It's like, yeah, probably so. She had to kill 3 because they wouldn't stop fucking crying, and so she just drowned them. And then they were like, I don't know, SIDS, man. I woke up and they ain't breathing no more. I already told my husband I shouldn't even be babysitting.
Gross.
Yeah, so they finally caught up with her. That's a classic definition of a 1. However, she does have hair. Apparently, she has teeth. I'm saying, dude, you got to be careful just throwing out a willy-nilly 1 and a 2 all the time.
There can be other 1s. There doesn't just have to be 1.
The point of this exercise is to really get a strong baseline. Like, dude, this is a 1, okay?
Man, I think it's a 1.
I think if you Bing ugliest
She's
woman
so
on the earth,
gross.
Dude, what about tumor face lady? You know what I mean? You're like, dude, would you rather get blown by tumor face lady?
No, that's a 1
tree
too.
lady.
God, dude, I don't want him near me, man.
I think he's right that
I think
you know
it's probably like a 3.
it's probably like a 2.5 or a 3. You know, there.
They're both 1s, man.
Yeah, no, I think 1 is distinctly more a 1 than the other. And that's horrible. You take that down. She's got beautiful eyes.
Actually,
she's got beautiful eye, though. Look at that.
If you look at the body, I don't know that she's a 1. She might be a 2.
Jesus. That is no.
She's a good girl.
I think she might be a 2.
She's got a don't make fun of her. I like
I'm not.
her. She's got a terrible story, and I feel bad for her.
I'm not. That's what I'm saying. She's not a 1.
at least a 14 in my book.
She's got a really good personality.
She's got that one blue eye on the right. It's really cute, and it looks like a decent rack.
Decent
I'm gonna be
rack.
honest with you.
And she's
Look at that
skinny.
poop.
I
She is skinny.
can't handle the fact.
Look at those wee little shorts. Yep. She's a nice girl.
She's Daisy Duking it.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Hell yeah. No, and she just wants people not to stare at her and stuff. And it's like, oh, who are these fucking people that look at someone like her and point and stare? That's terrible.
God damn it. Yes, another 1. There can be more than 1. There are many 1s. I don't need more proof. We'll save the rest for tomorrow. God damn you,
Gentlemen,
Isis.
start bringing your pictures in.
How about bring 30? Put 30s up. What are we doing with?
We're trying to get a fucking bottom of the barrel baseline now. We're trying to get a baseline because you're declaring people like that a 2. And I'm telling you,
we start at the top and work backward.
No, we start at the bottom and we reward ourselves if we go up. There you go, Jay. There you go. There's your 1.
Fuck.
No. Just want to give you a little peck, Jay. What do you say to that?
Shit.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good rest of the day. Thanks for hanging with us. We'll see you tomorrow.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.